Welcome to another episode of Gas and Go with Snow. All right, so today what we're going to do is we're going to walk around and check out South OC Cars and Coffee. So we're in Southern California here, San Clemente, and you see I brought out my trusty old daily driver, 1992 Humvee. So this thing has gotten a lot of attention while we've been out here, but let's go look at some other stuff.
Gas and Go with Snow, time to steal the show.
If you look around, you can see there are hundreds of cars out here. They usually start at 0830, and at 8:30 they have what they call the roll-in, and you see the cars rolling in, but you don't just come in and pick a spot. If you look down the way, you see all of that area right there. There are a bunch of 911s, Porsches, but you come over here and you look down this exotic row, and you'll see Audi R8s, Aston Martins, Lambos, Ferraris, some Porsches, and then you'll see custom stuff like this. But this guy right here, when you talk about American muscle, you don't get much more muscle than this. 2013 Viper. Now this is a GTS coupe, right? Most of them are convertibles or have like the Hollywood top, but this one has a full top on it. And this is a beautiful example of it. This thing is in great shape. One of my favorites that I've seen today, 1971 Oldsmobile Cutlass. Yeah, you look under the hood, you see a Rocket 350 in there. For those of you who don't know, that thing will get it. But hey, how you doing, Don?
Good, fine.
All right. You mind talking to me for a quick second about this beautiful piece of machinery you got here?
It's an awesome car. I mean, basically everything you're looking at is original except for the paint.
Well, I looked under here and I checked out the interior, and this thing, I mean, it is a beautiful, one of the nicest examples of a Cutlass that I've ever seen on the road. Now, you the original owner?
I'm second owner.
Second owner. How long have you had it?
I've had it since 2007.
Oh, really? Okay, so you got some history with this girl then.
I know the history from the day he bought it. I worked with the guy that owned it. He was saving it for his daughters, but they didn't want it.
Man, well, you know what? They missed out. Hey, thanks for talking to me. I'm going to walk around and look a little bit more at it, but beautiful example of a Cutlass.
It is.
All right. Hey, you look at this thing. This car is arrow straight, and look at the interior. It's in original condition, and this thing is beautiful. But let's keep on, we'll move on. I see right next to the Cutlass. All right, this is a JDM classic right here. This is an Acura NSX. And if you look at this car, this thing is near flawless. You can tell it's got a few miles on it because I'm looking at the driver's side passenger, the driver's seat here. It looks like somebody's been sliding in and out of this thing. But the paint is gorgeous all the way around. So this definitely one of Japan's attempts at a muscle car. This is it right here. Is this yours?
It is mine.
Oh, well, hey, we got lucky today. How you doing? My name is Snow.
So, I'm Steven.
Steven, tell me a little bit about this. How you doing, Dave? All right, Steven, tell me a little bit about this. Now, this is what I just told everybody. This right here, I'm American Muscle and royalty, American Muscle Car royalty. Hemi Cuda, 70 Chevelle, JDM,
Camaro.
and the 60 big black Camaro. But for JDM, this is one of their attempts at a muscle car, and this is muscle car royalty for Japan. Tell me about this car.
Well, so it's a 1995 NSX, and this car is, so I'm a third owner,
Okay.
and this car is, the way they developed it and made it is to make it an everyday driver. You don't have to worry about the thing blowing up, like just driving it on the weekends or whatever. You can drive it every day. I actually found one of these things for sale, and I was amazed how cheap it was. And the guy had over 400,000 miles on it. Still
400,000 miles on an NSX.
same engine, right? And he was like still driving it every day, right? And so that's the thing. You have a good, reliable Honda that is pretty fast and snappy through the corners, and it doesn't break. It's just a lot of fun to drive.
Oh yeah, well, you know what? The thing is beautiful. I mean, the paint is near flawless, and and it just shines. And I noticed on the driver's side seat, you can see where the driver, you've been getting in and out of it. Yeah. So that tells me that it's got some miles on it, which makes it even more impressive to me. Hey, thanks, man.
Right,
I appreciate you.
Good to meet you, sir.
All right, yeah. All right, well, let's move on. Oh yeah, every day is fun out here with the cars. All right, so we move on down the way. So here at Cars and Coffee, you got everything. We got American Muscle. We've got, JDM Classics. We've got, look, Toyota. There you go. These things are bulletproof. you would have to really try to blow one of these guys up. And you see, it's for sale. So come out to Cars and Coffee if you're looking for something special. All right, what else we got over here? Ooh, look at the Fairlane. This is a hardtop convertible. A lot of mechanicals in here. Let's check this guy out. Is this yours?
Yes, it is.
Man, this thing is beautiful.
It was the first hardtop convertible.
Well, you know what? I was just telling my audience that the hardtop convertible, and there's a lot of mechanicals in here, and the engineering behind this, we're talking 57?
58, yep.
1958, all right? So what's your name?
I'm Mark, by the way.
Mark?
Yep.
Well, Mark, do you mind telling us a little bit about this? Give me the 60-second spiel, because I think people need to know what this is.
Well, this was actually a factory model, and it was the first hardtop convertible, and Ford said, you know what? The problem with convertibles is they're rag tops, they're noisy, they're
Right.
cold. So let's make a hardtop convertible and solve all those problems. It'll be warmer in the winter, it won't have that ratty roof, and but it was a complicated process. So this has 10 relays and 8 electric motors, which operate the top and the deck lid.
10 relays and 8 electric motors. Wow. And now what I'm noticing here, you actually have a lot of room in here for storage once this top goes down in there. So
That's the matching luggage you could get with these.
so the car came with matching luggage.
That's right.
Now, is that the original to this car?
It's original to this car.
Wow. How long have you had it?
I've had this now 11 years.
Really? Okay. Well, you know what? It's beautifully kept, and I like how you got the top where people can see. Because if you had the top up, they would just think it was a hard top. If
Exactly
you had the
right.
top down, they think it's a convertible.
Exactly right.
And this shows the best of both worlds.
Exactly right. And so when some of the younger kids come by, they go, look, Dad, it's a transformer.
I love that.
You know?
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, man, thanks for taking the time to
betcha.
talk to us about this, because this is a beautiful car. Love it. Thank you.
very much.
All right. Well, you get to see a little bit of everything on Gas and Go with Snow. This section I'm finding really interesting, because I look over here, I see a 69 Camaro, I see a 67 Corvette, another 69 Camaro. There we got a 67, the first Camaro. That's one of my buddy Phil. That's his car, the convertible. And then you look over here, more Camaros. There's your 442 Cutlass. Now this Cutlass, the 442, this was when you're talking to getting like the higher end packages in the Cutlass. And so that's what this is. The last one we looked at was just a regular Cutlass with a Rocket 350 in it. But this right here, 442, one of the highest trims in the Cutlass you could get. When you talk about American muscle, the Camaro is always going to be in that crowd. Now, this one, the first Camaro. Tell me a little bit about this. Give me the short version of this one, Phil.
This is a 1967 RS convertible. It's actually a showroom car. Sierra Fawn. It's an RS with a rag top, and it has a 350 small block ramjet.
All right, so we're going to do a full Gas and Go episode on this car and give you the full history and how Phil got it. But right now, that's all you get. Talked about American muscle. Well, it didn't just stop in the 60s. So if you look here, you got 2018 Mustang. Now, these things, you can get some serious horsepower out of the new V8 Mustangs. Over here, you got a Shelby. This is a Super Snake. This thing is fast. But me personally, I'm a Chevy guy. So here we got the ZL1 Camaro. Now, this thing will keep up with just about anything on a track. So, and I like the blue. He's got the custom wheels on it. This is a nice car. We were also talking about Corvettes. Well, this is a great opportunity to look at some Corvettes. If you look right here, we got a C6 Corvette. And then we keep on going down the row, and now we're at the C7s. So keep on going. In the C7s, you got the big dog. That's a ZR1. This right here, 750 horsepower car. And then after the C7, of course, you got the mid-engine C8. This is a game changer in the Corvette world. A lot of people didn't like it because a Corvette has typically been front engine, rear wheel drive, right? Well, not typically, they're always. And now, GM went to that mid engine. So the traction on this thing is phenomenal. And now it has launch features. So you can get on the road with any modern supercar, and a Corvette will probably hang with it. Not only do we see American muscle out here, and I know I talk about that a lot, but when I see vehicles like this, it literally stopped me in my tracks. Now, I am not an expert on the Lincolns and the Continentals. I know this is one of the first Continentals, and I believe this is a 1956. And what makes me say that is it doesn't have dual headlights, or they went to in like 57, 58. So, but I'm looking at this, and the paint is beautiful, and this is a lot of flat surface to get straight. You look at the interior, and it still has all the original instrumentation in it. The classic horn ring on the steering wheel, and this thing is beautiful. I like the color. It's like a grayish blue, and this is when they started with the hump for the spare tire on the back of the car. So the spare would have sat in the trunk and sat right here. A lot of chrome on these cars. So this beautiful example of a 1956 Lincoln Continental. This is another American classic right here. This is what I call a modern classic. So if you look under the hood of this thing, you're gonna see a Dodge V10. Now, don't quote me, ladies and gentlemen, but I think this is a 10-liter V10 right here. This thing made, what, 600 horsepower back in the day when cars were lucky to make 3. So this thing is a monster. And this one is actually a really well-preserved copy. You know, look at that. Interior looks good, but you can tell it's been driven. And the paint, not flawless, but really nice. All right. So, hey, what's your name? I'm Snow.
Dennis.
Dennis? Well, nice to meet you, Dennis. So, what year is your truck?
It's early 55, called the First Series.
Really? So they made more than one in 55?
Yeah, they split in the middle of the year.
Okay, so the later 55s would have looked like, you know, what we normally see, the 57, 58, the Apaches. That's so it was a model break.
You got it, yep.
Oh, okay, and what I like about this, I noticed you kept the 235 straight 6 in there. A lot of people put small blocks in. What made you keep that?
It's the way I got it from a guy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I like the originality of it.
Thank you very much.
Well, hey, thanks for taking the time to talk to me. I appreciate that. Thank you for your service.
You too. Thank you for your service.
Roger that. I learned something new today. I did not know that those trucks went all the way to 54. All right. So let's move on. We're looking at another one here. So what's a young man like you driving an old truck like this?
That's all I can afford. You know, things are rough right now.
This is all you can afford? Is this all you can afford?
I'm living on Social Security. It's tough.
All right, tell you what. If you guys believe that, I got a bridge for sale. All right, you guys, this is my good friend Ira, and Ira owns this truck. The truck's name is Ratified. What year is it, Ira?
It's a 1949 Chevy.
Okay, so 49 Chevy. But if you guys follow Gas and Go with Snow, I'm sure you've seen this truck before. But yeah, always nice talking to you, man. This is a great truck.
Thank you very much.
Love it.
Thanks.
All right, so we're moving on down the truck row. So what you got here? What is your truck?
1950.
50. So it's way newer than that old stuff I was driving.
Yeah, yeah, a little newer, 1 year.
So what do you have under the hood here?
It's a 350 with a cam, headers, TBI injection, and it goes pretty good.
Well, it sounds like it's set up to be more reliable than just like a Boulevard Bruiser.
Oh yeah.
Now, how often do you drive this?
Once a week.
Once a week, just come out to Cars and Coffee, show her off.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Let's move on. This is actually pretty unique, and this is not something you're going to see every day. Larry, how you doing today, brother?
Mister, how are you doing?
Oh, you know what? Every day is a good one. Yeah. So this is pretty unique. Tell me about this. What is this? What year is it?
Okay, 1952 Studebaker pickup truck. And this is really a rare model. It came originally with a 6-cylinder engine. It's been upgraded to a Studebaker 57 Hawk Studebaker engine. It's got a 3-speed with an overdrive transmission, frame off restoration over 10 years ago. It's got everything, disc brakes in the front, cooling fan, new gauges in the inside. It's beautiful.
Now, my understanding is a Hawk was their performance car. So how did you find a motor, a Hawk motor to put in this truck?
The guys, Studebaker guys, they have all that stuff, and this is what they decided to do. You know.
All right.
This truck came out of Arizona, and there's people in Arizona that love Studebakers, and they built this truck from the ground up.
Well, the interior is really clean, and I'm noticing. I see the new gauge cluster, old style, and I see you have a newer stereo in it. But again, didn't cut the face of the truck. And I see the original round pedals. You got the floor shifter and the original handbrake.
You got it, and it stops and goes great.
Okay, so now tell me something. If somebody wanted to buy one like this, what would it cost them?
It would cost them $28,500.
So $28,500, and you could own, was it 52 Studebaker truck?
Studebaker truck in excellent condition.
All right. Is there a number they could call if they wanted to buy that truck?
Yes, they do. It's 562-881-0758 and ask for Larry.
All right, you guys heard that. So if you want to buy a 1952 Studebaker truck, boom, call Larry.
All right. Have a good day, boys.
All we did was really scratch the surface here at Cars and Coffee. But next time we'll see a little more. But right now, we got to get out of here. So we'll see you guys next time on Gas and Go with Snow.
King of the streets got the swagger, oh my. First shot he needs to do with a low rider machine. Cherry red paint, chrome wheels they gleam. Snow pulls out his camera, ready to roll. Gas and Go with Snow, time to steal the show.